Hi, everybody. Karen Greenstreet here. With this whole COVID-19 thing, people are asking me about how to move their mastermind groups from face-to-face mastermind groups to virtual mastermind groups. So I thought I'd create a quick video for you to talk about some of the things to think about. And of course, the first two questions are, will it work? Can you do a mastermind group in virtual reality and video conferencing? And what's different about it versus doing a face-to-face group? So the answer to the first question is yes, of course it can work. I've been running mastermind groups through Zoom video conferencing for my own mastermind groups since, I don't know, the past 8 or 10 years. And before that, I did it through teleconference. My mastermind group members are all over the world, and they need a central place to do this. So I haven't run face-to-face mastermind groups in ages and ages, and they work fine. There are some things that are a little bit different, though, so let me talk about those. First of all, you need to have super strong facilitation skills because you're missing some of the nuance and ambiance that happens in a mastermind group meeting on one hand. On the other hand, if you use a video conferencing service like Zoom, you actually can see everybody at once. You can see all their faces, which can be a little distracting at first until you get used to it, but you can start pinpointing what's going on with people a little bit easier because you can actually see everybody at once. And the nice thing is, if they're in gallery view, they can see everyone at once too. So I love that. The other thing is, if it's a new group, it might take them a little bit longer to bond, not excessively longer, but it might take maybe 2 meetings for them to really, really, really trust each other. Whereas in a face-to-face mastermind group, I find that they'll bond often by the end of the first meeting. But in a virtual, they just don't have the coffee time. They don't have the chit chat time, but you could do that in your virtual mastermind group. What's to stop you from taking a break in the middle of your meeting and just having people, I don't know, do some sort of a group exercise together or something for them to get to know one another. The other thing is that some of your members might not be used to using virtual technology, and they might either resist using a video conference because they've never been in one before, or they don't know specifically how to use the tool that you're using. I'm using Zoom meetings, not even Zoom webinars, Zoom meetings, so I can see everybody. There's lots of other video conferencing platforms out there. I think that if you point them to a couple of the help pages from that company and say, look, here's how you get on, here's what the screen's going to look like. Those companies have already created those help files for you. So just share those with your members. Maybe you can have a practice where everyone gets together and just gets on and practices being on the platform and using the little buttons and everything before you do your meeting. It can't take you more than 5 or 10 minutes to do that. Whatever you do, though, do choose a video conferencing platform where you can see everybody at the same time and they can see you and they can see each other. This is not a webinar where you're projecting just yourself and they're an audience. You need to have a real meeting, a video meeting. So definitely choose a platform that's going to do that for you. Some of the ground rules have to change a little bit as well because, people can't see each other in the same way. And so if a person's getting ready to speak in a live face-to-face meeting, you kind of can see them start to lean forward, they take a deep breath, and we all recognize these sort of subtle symbols and things that happen that don't happen in a virtual meeting. You can't tell. And so you're going to have to ask people to raise their hand if they want to talk, which does decrease a little bit of that sort of popcorning, but not much. Or people can popcorn, and if they start to bounce off of each other and talk over each other, you'd be like, whoa, okay, everybody one at a time, and they're going to have to work it out. But if you can get them to sort of just wave at the camera and then you call on them in turn, that should solve that problem. I think you should not be recording your meetings just for privacy purposes, if anything else. In a face-to-face meeting, you don't typically record those meetings. And then a virtual meeting, because you have the availability to record, you might think you should, and then people can go back and watch it. My experience is that people don't go back and watch it. In our Synergy Mastermind group, when we first started 4 or 5 years ago, I did for a whole entire year offer them recordings. And then I went back to Google Analytics to say, well, how many people clicked on those recording pages? It was extremely few. They don't. They say they want them, but they don't. What you can do is in Zoom, you can allow each individual person to record their own personal hot seat. And then you take that recording privilege away when the next person has their hot seat. So that might work for you. The other challenge you have is because they're in front of their computer, they could have email open, they could have social media open. There's just so many distractions where they are. Whereas when they're in a meeting, they have to be fully present. You can tell if they're not. And so the interesting thing is because in Zoom, you can see everybody, you can actually see when they're not paying attention. You can see when their eyes are going back and forth because they're looking at a screen and they're not really paying attention. You'll hear clicking that this shouldn't be happening. Don't be afraid to just simply say to them, hey, I'm noticing some of you guys are not paying attention. Can you come back fully present into the virtual room here? The other thing is just like with a regular meeting is if it feels like people are getting tired, don't be afraid to take breaks. You can just leave Zoom open. Everybody takes a 5-minute break and comes back just like you would at a regular conference table, or shut down Zoom, let them take their 5 or 10-minute break and then they just come back into the same Zoom room. So whatever you want to do. Zoom has a few features that would be really helpful for you, and I'm assuming that the other platforms that are out there have something similar. So, look at whatever platform you're using and see if it has these things. First of all, Zoom has a thing in Zoom meetings called breakout rooms. Essentially, you can take like 2 people and put them in a little Zoom room together, and it clears out the main meeting room and everybody kind of goes off into their own little breakout room, and they can have 2-person discussions. Maybe you're going to ask them to like work hard on an action plan or to think about the answer to a topic or anything you want to do to break them up, have them come back afterwards, of course. So see if the video platform you're using has breakout rooms. See if it allows individual members to record on their own machine, their own hot seat. You want to see if they can do that, because some people, they want to be really deep into the conversation of the mastermind group. They don't want to be stuck having to take notes. And so if they want to record their own, or maybe they have a business partner or a personal partner or an employee that they want to see it, they can record their own. And I don't think there's a privacy concern about that. The nice thing I like is that because video conferencing almost always has a chat box, people can share resources. They can share links. They can upload files they want everybody to see. Although Zoom also has a screen sharing thing. So if they say they have I don't know, it's a small business mastermind group and the person's working on a page on their website, they can actually share that page in front of everybody in the group, and they can point with their mouse or their tracker. This is the area where I'm having concern. Could you guys read this paragraph and tell me what you think? Or I don't know, maybe they're all professional photographers. They're like, well, can you look at this picture and tell me what I did wrong? And so you can share screens that way, which is really nice. So those are the kind of things that you're going to want to be looking for in a video conferencing software. All right. So stay safe, everybody. Good luck. Have a great time with your mastermind, your virtual mastermind groups, and I'll see you on the other side. Take care. Bye now. If you want to get notified when I post a new video about mastermind groups, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the little bell icon so you get notified. In the description area of this video, I'm posting a link to my free video tutorial all about starting and running mastermind groups called Speed Up Growth. I'm also posting some links to different blog posts that I have and other videos that I've created that you're going to find helpful when you create and facilitate your own mastermind groups. Drop a comment below in this video if you have any questions or if you would like to suggest a topic for my next video.